Hello. Can people see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So I gave you guys a document that has a lot of questions for Euclidean geometry. This is the first problem. So here we are given that, okay, they've named this wrong. So it's supposed to be PQRS. Let's change our pen to red. This is supposed to be PQRS, or yeah, PQRS is a parallelogram. It's a parallelogram. So when this is a parallelogram, you have to remember the properties of parallelogram. So remember, opposite sides are equal in length and they are parallel. Right. So that means this is equal to that, that it's equals to that, and this is parallel to that, this is parallel to that one over there. Right. So that's one thing. Another thing, if those are parallel, we have to remember that we have co-interior angles to deal with here. So that means if I'm gonna add adding opposite angles is equals to 180 degrees over here. So if I'm gonna add that angle and this angle, I'm supposed to get 180 degrees. Also, this angle and that angle are equal in a parallelogram. So we can say, we call those opposite angles. We can call them diagonal angles. Diagonal angles are equal, like that. So what we are trying to do here, we're calculating the size of its interior angles. Basically here, they're asking us to solve for x, and then after solving for x, to say that angle S is this value, angle Q is this value. So let's see. So if we are saying that, let's do this. Are we still together?
Yes.
All right. So we are saying that angle Q is equals to angle S. The reason that we are using is that these are diagonal angles in a parallelogram. I think this is how we write parallelogram. Right. So that means we can now say 5x minus 12, it's equals to 3x plus 18, like that. And then we'd solve this as any other equation. So collecting all like terms. So we're having 5x minus 3x, it's equals to 18 plus 12. And then this gives us 2x, it's equals to, this gives us 30, I think. And then from there, we're solving for x, we can divide by 2 both sides. We end up getting that our x value is 15, like that. So therefore, we can now plug in 15 over here. We can say for Q, or angle Q, it's going to be 5. Wherever we see in X, we're going to plug in 15 minus 12. And then let's see, this gives us, do I have a calculator nearby? So it's going to be 15 times 5, and then we're going to subtract 12. So I'm getting 63 over here. So if Q is 63, then S will also be 63 because we have said that those two are equal. Any questions?
No.
No questions? Anyone else? All good. All right. So this was how you were supposed to approach that first question. Let me check for a second question. Second question you are given. Let's do this, move this aside. Why is this thing not pasting now? I'm not seeing the document that I'm pasting. Oh, it's here. Wow. Pasted it multiple times. Okay. I just need this one. All right. So here we are given that shape. We are asked to find the sizes of the angles marked from A to G. So I can see A over here, B, C, E, F, G over here, there's D over there. So those are all the sides, the angles that I'm supposed to find. So which shape is this? What shape is that? What shape? What shape are we dealing with? We're having opposite sides that are parallel like that, and it's slanted, and the sides, this side is not equal to that one. So which shape is that?
Parallelogram.
Parallelogram. All right, so this we can conclude it's a parallelogram. Parallelogram like that. Sure. Right. So firstly, we have to check what we are given here. So for us to find, let's deal with, we can deal with A first. So if we check this triangle over here, so in triangle AOD, this triangle over here, in that triangle, we are told that this side is equal to that side. So this is what we have. That this side is equal to that side. Here we are given 40. Here we are given an unknown. Here we are given A like that. Right. What type of triangle is this one? The triangle that has two sides that are equal.
Isosceles triangle.
It's an isosceles triangle. So if it's an isosceles triangle, we can conclude that the angles that are opposite the equal sides have to be equal as well. So we can say angle A or A, it's equals to 40 degrees. The reason for this, it would be angles opposite equal sides. So the reason is not isosceles triangle. We know it's an isosceles triangle, but the actual reason is this one. So if we have angles that are opposite equal sides, then those angles would be the same, like that. So this is the reason you'll be using, right? Then moving on, so we now have A sorted out. After finding A, let's see, we are having triangle DOC. What type of triangle is that? Triangle DOC. What type of triangle is that? DOC. We're having two sides that are equal as well. This side, it's equal to that side. So this is still an isosceles triangle, right? So if it's an isosceles triangle, let's see, what can we do about that? So we know that if I'm gonna take this angle and add it with that angle and add it with that angle, I'm supposed to get 180 because that's the sum of the interior angles of a triangle. So here I can say 72 plus B plus C, it's equals to 180 degrees. And then here we can say this is the sum of interior angles in a triangle, like that, right? But we know that B is equals to C. B is equals to C for this reason of angles opposite equal sides, like that. So now we can say we are having this as 72 plus B, because B and C are the same thing. It's equals to 180. And then we're seeing that these are like terms. So we end up with 72 plus 2B, it's equals to 180. And then we end up with 2B, it's equals to 180 minus 72. So 180 minus 72, what do we get? 180 minus 72? We here. 108. All right, and then we divide by 2, both sides. What do we get?
54.
54. So our P value is equal to 54. Therefore, we can say C is also equals to 54. So far we have done A, B, and C, like that. Any questions for B and C? Okay, I assume that means no questions. Moving on, we said this is a parallelogram, and we had concluded something about a parallelogram. We said that this entire angle has to be equal to this entire angle over here. So we can say, let's move this down there. So we can say that angle B is equals to angle D. And then we said something about these are diagonals of a parallelogram, like that. So that means that this angle, which is B, it will be D. It's equals to, this will be A plus B. For angle D, this entire angle D is A plus B. We already know the values of A plus D. So A, we got that as 40, plus we just did B and C right now. We got it as 54, if I remember well. So that means D over here will be those two, which is supposed to be 94, like that. So D is 94. Any questions on that one? So we have done A, B, C, and D. Let's see the next angle we can look at. Next angle, if we check E over here, we have E over here. Since this is a parallelogram, I'm seeing this shape over here. I'm seeing a U. This line is parallel to that line. What types of angle form a U?
Co-interior.
Co-interior. And what do we know about co-interiors?
They add up to 180.
They add up to 180, or we can say they are supplementary. So they add up to 180 degrees, like that, right? So we know the value of A, we know the value of B, we know the value of C. We are looking for this one. So always try to make sure that you are dealing with only one unknown. So we are only looking for one unknown over there. So we can say, if I'm going to take the whole of angle D plus the whole of angle C, I'm supposed to get 180. The reason for that, we said these were co-interior angles. So these were co-interior angles. That's because which lines are parallel? AD is parallel to BC. So we have to write this. AD is parallel to BC, I think, like that. So for angle D over here, angle D over here is just A plus B. A plus B. This is all angle D. For angle C, it will be small c and E, like that. So this will just be small c plus E. This part is C, this part is D. It's equals to 180. And then we plug in the values that we know. For A, we said this was 40. For B, we said this was that 54?
54.
Yes, for C, it's also 54. And then we are looking for E is unknown, equals to 180 like that. And then from there, we can add up all of that. So 40 plus 54 plus 54, we end up with 148 plus E is equals to 180. Then this ends up being 180 minus 148. And then my E value is, I'm getting this as 32. Like that. So E is 32. Straightforward, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then we have found E. Now let's see if we can find F over here. So we can still use the same principle we used. We can use co-interior angle over here, or we can use the diagonal opposite diagonal angles over here. So we can use two methods. So let's, I think co-interior is still fine. Let me just have this document somewhere up there. Let's move this document somewhere up here so that we have space. All right. So we are trying to solve for angle F over here. So we can say that we are having angle A plus angle B supposed to be 180 degrees. These are co-interior angles, like that, because AD is parallel to BC. So for angle A, I have F plus 40, that's angle A, plus for angle B, I have D over here, equals to 180. The value for F, I don't know it, plus 40, plus the value for D, we had it somewhere as 90 something. What was it?
94.
94, it's equals to 180. And then from here, we're just gonna have this, and then adding these, what do we get? 40 plus 94?
134.
134, it's equals to 180. And then we have 180 minus 134, what do we get?
46.
46, like that. So that's the value for F. Now, if we check G, G is over here, but we can try and deal with this as a revolution angle, like that. Revolution angle, remember, is the one whereby we are going around a point like that, and then this is equals to 360 degrees. So going around this point over here, we get 360 degrees, but that means we need to find this angle first, right? So we can say in triangle, that triangle over there, AOB, and this triangle over here, we know that we have 40 plus A plus angle O, it's equals to 180, reason being sum of interior angles in a triangle, like that. And then from there, we know the value of A, so it's 40 plus 40 plus angle O, it's equals to 180. We have an angle O, it's 180 minus 80, like that. And then from there, our angle O, it's equals to 100 degrees, like that. Right. So now we have angle O, we have 72 over here, we are looking for G. So we can say G plus angle O plus 72, it's supposed to be 360 degrees. This is a revolution angle. Revolution angle. And then for O, we got that as 100. So we'll say G plus 100 plus 72 equals to 360. And then G, it's equals to 360 minus 172. G is equals to, what's 360 minus 172?
188.
188 degrees, like that. So we're able to get the value of A, able to get the value of B, C, D, E, and F. So what's important here is that all of these angles are linked. So if our value for A was incorrect, that means our value for B was going to be incorrect. Value for C was going to be incorrect. E was also going to be incorrect. Actually, all of them were going to be incorrect if we had one incorrect answer there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. Everyone understood what we covered? Everyone has understood? Okay. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna tackle one more and then people can rest and enjoy their Sunday. People can rest and enjoy their Sunday. I'm just gonna tackle one more. So there's this one, the number 3 from your questions. Let's see what they are asking from us. This one. Actually, I can just move this to a new page. All right. So here we are told that we are having a parallelogram ABCD, and we know that we're given that AB is 50, they've indicated there. BC is 80, that's indicated. And we are told that the angle BAD is 110. Remember the one that's wearing the cap, it's the one we're looking at. So BAT, A is wearing the cap, this one is 110. Right. And then we are told that E is a point on AD such that AE is equals to AB. So E is a point on AD, this is AD, that means here we have to have E, such that this part is equals to that part. And then we're also told that angle BEC, that means we're looking at E, BEC is 75. So BEC is 75. So this angle over here is 75, right? Firstly, we're supposed to find the value of the angle CED. So CED is over here. We're supposed to find that angle. Second question is asking us to find the lengths of the sides of this triangle over here. Right, so let's get started. So for this angle over here, we cannot just do this and say that's a straight line. That's not a straight line. So firstly, what we will need to do is this. So we firstly need to find the value of this and the value of that. And then we'll have two unknowns over here, looking for this third unknown over there. So firstly, we need to find the value of those, and then we're gonna get the value of that. After getting the value of that, we're able to get this value, right? So what type of triangle is ABE? What type of triangle is a triangle is ABE? ABE? ABE, we're having two sides that are equal. That's an isosceles triangle. So we can say that angle B it's equals to angle E over there in this triangle. And then the reason for that one is angles opposite equal sides, like that. So angles opposite equal sides, we have that scenario, right? And then now we can say, if I'm gonna add angle A plus angle B plus angle B. Remember angle B and E are the same, so we could have had this as E. It's equals to 180, and this is the sum of interior angles in a triangle, like that. So here I'm having A, which is 110, plus 2B, it's equals to 180. So I have 2B, it's equals to 180 minus 110, and 2B is now equals to, what do we get here? 70, I think. And then from there, we can divide this by 2. We're getting B to be equals to 35, like that. Any questions on that one? Any questions on that one?
No.
All right, so this is 35. This is also 35. So we are looking for this guy. So we can now say for this line over here, we can call this one, we can even call it X, it's fine. And say if I'm going to add X plus 75 plus 35, I'm supposed to get 180. And then the reason for that, these are angles on a straight line. So that's an angles on a straight line, like that. So here I have X plus, this is gonna give me, what does this give me? 110, I think. 75 plus 35, I think it's 110. So 75 plus 35, it's 110 over here. It's equals to 180. And then from there, I'll have X, it's equals to 180 minus 110. I'll have X being equal to 70. So that means the angle over here is 70. Then if that's 70, actually that's the angle we're trying to calculate. So CED, it's equals to 70, like that. Any questions for that one? Any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Moving on. Okay, moving on. Next, we were told, we know that this is a parallelogram. So our question is asking us to find the length of this triangle. So I'm supposed to get this, what's the size of this? What's the size of that? What's the size of this? Right, so if this is a parallelogram, let's do this, let's erase all of this. This, we said it was 70. If this is a parallelogram, then that means this side is equal to that side. This entire side AD is equals to this one. So AD it's equals to BC, like that. And then what else? This side is parallel to that one. This side is parallel to that one, right? So firstly, I'd suggest that we find, if we will say this side is equal to that side, so we'll say CD, it's equals to AB, it's equals to 50, like that. The reason for that, it's a parallelogram, side of parallelogram. So it's opposite sides of a parallelogram, actually. Opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal, like that. Opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal. So that means here it's also 50. Can we see that? This side is equal to that side. So we are still solving the sides of this over here, of this triangle over here. Right. Moving on. AD is equals to BC. We can write that. AD is equals to BC. And then the reason for that, it's still the same as this one. Opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal. So AD, for AD, you are having AE plus ED. So for you to make AD, you have to add this part and this part. So this is all AD. So AD is AE plus ED. It's equals to BC. So BC, we know that as 80. We can plug it like that. Then from here, we know the value of AE because we were given somewhere. We're told that AE is equals to AB. So we can say, but AE is equals to AB, and that's equals to 50. The reason for that, it was given. We were given that one. And then from here, that means for this statement, we now have 50 plus ED, it's equals to 80. Like that. That means our ED will be 80 minus 50. Our ED will be 30. So that means this part is 30 millimeters like that. So let's put millimeters across like that. So we now have those two sides. We're missing one side now, right? So the trick that will help us there is that this is a parallelogram. So since it's a parallelogram, we do have a U shape we can utilize. There's a U shape there. So this is A, this is B, this is D, and then this is C. What's our U shape again? U shape?
Co-interior.
Co-interior. So that means we are saying that this guy and that guy have to add up to 180. So let's look at that. So we'll say angle A plus angle D are supposed to be 180, and there's our co-interior angles because AB is parallel to CD, like that. So angle A is 110 plus angle D, it's equals to 180. Angle D, it's equals to 180 minus 110. Angle D, it's equals to 70. So that means over here, I'm having 70, I'm having 70 as well. So since I'm having 70 and 70, I can conclude that those two sides are equal. This is now an isosceles triangle. So that means this part is also 50 millimeters. So to write that down, we can say, what did we say? Okay, we have solved that D is that. So we can say, therefore, triangle CED is isosceles. So if it's an isosceles triangle, we can say, what are our sides here? Let's check our sides. We can say CD, it's equals to CE. CD, it's equals to CE, CD. And the reason for this is it's actually the reverse for that one we were saying, whereby if you're having equal sides that are opposite each other, you have angles that are equal. So here we would say opposite angles of a triangle are equal. So it's sort of the reverse of what we were using for an isosceles triangle. So therefore, we can say CE is also 50 millimeters, not degrees, like that. Right. Any question for that? Any question for that one?
No, sir.
All
No,
right.
sir.
If there are no questions, I think I'll leave you guys to enjoy the Sunday. Tomorrow we'll continue with another set of questions. Hopefully these will help people understand this topic better. Please practice, practice, practice. And yeah, thanks for joining in. I'll see you tomorrow. Is the 7 o'clock time working for you guys?
No.
Which time works?
At 10 at night.
Ah,
At 10 at night.
Just joking, just joking. Yeah, so 7 is right.
All right, 7 is okay. This I recorded this, so I'm gonna post it very shortly. And yeah, use it for revision if you need to. So go through those questions, get stuck, and ask questions on the group.
Siyabonga abajoyinile.
All right, sharp.